Welcome to Spa 1967, or Circuit National de Francorchamps. It wasn't called Spa back then, for reasons I don't understand. We are starting P22 right behind Jackie X, but right in front of Phil Hill, Joe Siffert, Günther Huber, Bob Bondurant and Don Yenko. I mean, look at Bob Bondurant, Joe Siffert, Phil Hill and Jackie X. It's pretty stacked down at the bottom. In the 35 lap race, we are in... Let's get the name right. The Mirage M1 Ford. I believe it's Mark 1. Yeah, the Mirage, which is a Ford GT without being a Ford GT. We have got a few Ford GT40s in the race. But, you know, they're the old Ford GT40s, like the ones that they didn't mention in the film. I'm assuming haven't seen it. But yeah, it's complicated with the Ford GT because there's a lot of them. And here we are, P22. And away we are, just got to mind that wheel spin off the line. Getting a good conversion. We've got a chaparral with Phil Hill right there on the outside. Jackie X. Down here, he didn't really set a time in qualifying. Oh, and Jackie contacts me. Jackie, oh, somebody's off hard on the fence. Somebody get Mark Scaife on the line because he's in the fence. I just jump through these GT sport car. Down here as we approach one of the Ford GT40s, the slow cars that weren't really any particularly good. Just avoid out here. Yeah, they took them to Le Mans in 64 and 65 and were absolutely thrashed by Ferrari. They wiped the floor. It was only really in 66, hence the film Le Mans 66, that they started catching on, and that's of course is the bit they deserve to focus on because it was made by Americans and thus entirely unable to deal with the fact that they're not the best in the world at everything the first time they try it. But we're just trying to avoid here dramas. That car exploded across the road in a massive fireball in a previous attempt, and I think a Ford GT is about to do the same, but he recovers. Yellow flag, so we could have... Oh, we have a Ford GT going off. Oh, we have him going off too. I don't think anybody's had to... Oh, that's bad. That's actually really quite... Fire! 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 Somebody call the pompiers to wherever this is, because that car is comprehensively buggered. Wowzers. So we're into 7th, lap 1. Yay, they only just hit the first sector as well. So yeah, I have done a race before where 2 cars finished, which was interesting. I wasn't aware of that until the end, of course. I've been to 5th. Okay, so we just go through the Master Kink, which is genuinely the most terrifying thing you can do in a video game, I reckon. Especially in these cars. But we can do a proper lap where we go into a bit more detail about it later on here. Next lap perhaps, given the fact that we are already up here. I'll expect my pace to probably stabilise somewhere around the 3 minutes 50. So that's probably what to look out for. Seems like a decent thing. My qualifying pace was around a 3:44, but there's some issues. A half spin at La Source. On the actual lap, I was held up coming down to the Master Kink as well by some slower cars, so that wasn't fully representative of my pace, but it was enough, it seemed, to get me in a P3 for the race, so I was happy with that. We kind of just have to soldier on now again, run our own race, not get bogged down in stupid fights. I mean, we're pretty safe right now with the gap ahead and the gap behind. So it's only really when we start to encounter lap traffic that it'll become a problem again. We are running 2 times fuel and tyre wear, so that's something to keep in mind of. I have had, as a result of that race, removed the time-scaled mechanical failures back to just being normal, I think it's actually called. So yeah, there shouldn't be too many mechanical failures given it's half-distance race. But also, we've seen cars have some moments now. Yeah, that was the end of lap 1 in a moment. Anyway, this is where the modern start-finish line is. As we approach La Source, which I have to be really careful about. navigating it out to be gently on the throttle, already there. The back end just want to step out on you. You're going to light up those rears. Sorry about that, but yeah, the back end want to step out. The back end's going to light up. You're going to be on that rev limit, and that's going to be your engine pretty much as soon as you do that. But down there through Rouge, this is flat out now in the run up to Ratillon. Down here, up to the Camel section, we're going to call it just the Camel, because it's, you know, not straight in here, I would say, anymore, but you know, this was before it was straight. So yeah, that's happened. It's kind of very twisty turny. As we run down to Les Combes, it's kind of about here-ish where it diverts off. This would still be an access road for the circuit, I believe. So we come through here, and now we're on the bit that I'm not too familiar with. But yeah, this next one's a real pain in the backside, because get this thing wrong, you're going to come out too fast or too much to the right, and you're going to be getting it suboptimal entry, and you're going to run wide on the exit, and that's death. I've just come down to this sweeping bend that's just absolutely tricky to get right. I mean, I'm taking it very easy right here because I'm looking after the car. Up here to this next corner, which has been the fire corner really so far. I had a first go, not gonna lie, where somebody exploded in a fireball across the road right there. What an experience that was. Holy moly. Oh, that's a Ford GT off. Dear oh dear. But yeah, approaching now the Master King. As I mentioned, probably the most terrifying experience in a video game ever, because come out there too fast, too far to the right, you're going to be in a house. Or you're just going to get it wrong and you're going to be too far out on the exit, and you're going to be eating bricks. Well, you're not going to be eating anything really, because you will be dead. As we approach, I think this coming up is Stavelot. No real resemblance to the modern day circuit. But yeah, this is a fast and flowing right-hander that I think F1 cars might be flat out in, but this obviously is bigger and heavier, so you can't really do that. And also, I'm not very skilled. I'm so average at this. I'm sort of good at, you know, not throwing it off at every opportunity I get, but that's my only redeeming feature in sim racing. Oh dear, that Ferrari's off. And also it's easier in this because you're kind of naturally having to back off and not run flat out. So that is a plus. So we'll see if those cars rejoin. Uh-oh, yellow flag. Is somebody off? This is where you start not looking, you know, next to the circuit, but sort of more in the surrounding greenery for cars that might be littered. It will be easier once we put headlights on, because then they will have their headlights on too. Yeah, we're just coming through here. Blanchimont, I think, part of the modern circuit. It would have rejoined us shortly before that bend that we braked for. That was a bit quick. But on the run down to where the bus-stop chicane would be now, which is the crap bus-stop chicane. I mean, it's so awful now. Holy crap. But down towards La Source. Back then the track was fully public road, which is how it should have been. You know, it's just better that way. But I do have an unnatural affinity for public road circuits like this, Le Mans, Reims, all of those. I just think it's spectacular, really, to have been racing on those circuits. Like Reims is a track that I have an irrational love for. I've not really seen any racing from there at all, but just the whole nature of it. Like, it's a mini Le Mans. It had all the features of Le Mans, just cramped down in a much smaller area. And just again, the public road nature of it, it's just everything I want in a racing circuit. Like, modern day Spa is, quite frankly, dull and quite average for me. Like, it's too smooth. Too smooth, there's too much runoff, and it's all paved, you know. Like, all that really does is going to send people who've had brake failures into the wall at exceptionally high speed. It's not particularly safe, we've seen that over the years. But hey ho, what do I know? I'm just somebody who watches a lot of motorsport. But yeah, I just don't really care for Spa today. Just a bit. So that's my unpopular motorsport opinion. I don't care for Spa and I don't care for Porsche. Just a Beetle, innit? Like just a Beetle with a big engine in the back. That's all that is. I don't know. It's just not for me. Just all the same. But hey, we all have our unpopular motorsport opinions, and that's how it should be, damn it. That is how it should be. I know there are people who don't care for Sebring, and I think those people don't know what motorsport really is. So, you know, there's swings and roundabouts. This, however, is a cracking circuit, like proper balls out racing this. Even when you're taking it easy, it's pretty hairy, and that's how it should be. I mean, obviously a lot of people died, and that is why they stopped driving on this circuit, because it was simply too dangerous. And you know, I accept that. I get it wrong here, and that wall will eat your face. And you know, that's not great. I prefer racing drivers to be alive. It's the best way to have racing drivers, is for them to be alive. But yeah, we're going to stabilise ourselves into the race here. And yeah, I don't know when this video is going to go out, Monday or Tuesday, but yeah, on Monday I started back at work. It's currently Sunday evening, and I thought, why don't I do this? So yeah, these next couple of days might be a bit quiet on videos and streaming aside, but it will be something I come back to. Just need to just get back into the rhythm of work, because you know, it's a bit different really to having been at home. So I hope everyone is well, doing okay, looking after yourselves. Not super happy about going back to work, given, you know, the virus and all, but I'm going to do what I can to stay safe. And that's all we can do, really. So yeah, we're just going to crack on here now. Run our marks as much as possible. In qualifying, this is definitely a third gear corner. But yeah, that's pretty much what you're going to see here. It's just looking after your car. Like not over revving, not pushing too hard, because it's gonna go wrong. Like the worst thing you can do is over rev the engine. It will come back to haunt you. Let's try and leave it in second here, actually, out of La Source. Which is why, yeah, you can see my previous lap time. I'm actually going to be a bit above my target expectations, I think. Oh no, I'm probably going to be right on it. Okay, so probably a high 40s is what we're going to be doing for the race. Okay, the AI seems to be struggling a bit here. I just saw them slow down. That's a bit weird. I've seen that in another version of this circuit as well, so that might just be an inherent AI issue, which is a bloody shame. But yeah, we'll carry on here as best as we can. As best as we bloody well can. Get the strongest result possible. There's a good chance I'll cock it up as well. Like right there, for example, we're just coming in a bit hot into the corner, and it just goes all, no thank you, I don't want to do this corner, and you end up really soaring at the wheel. And we're just lifting off it, running. Oh, that's too much. That's too much. I nearly joined those cows down there. Moo to you, I say. I don't want to be with you. Yeah, we'll just brake here, let it roll, let it coast. There's no point really fuel saving in my first stint, because with the start and all, you are naturally just pushing a bit harder. But now the next stint, I probably could do that. Well, we're just going to have to watch it. We are set to do 5 laps, so actually, if I can get it up to... I mean, I would have to get it up to pretty much 12 laps a stint, wouldn't I? Before I could just drop a stop. But anyway, whatever we end up doing is good, because it will shorten our final stop, and that'll be the crucial thing. So we will reap the rewards. Just leave it into 5th at here, even though we are missing out on the engine brake. Just let it roll through. Stay on the power now. Just ride this out down this hill. Again, brave Marshall over there with just a wooden hut to protect him, and that Marshall up there. We're not slowing down. Holy mother of God, I forgot to brake for that corner, but it worked out fine. Drop into 4th. That Ferrari seems to have gone off up ahead. I don't think this sounds as nice as the Corvette did, but really, who can say no to that big V8? You know, I mean, that was proper freedom in that engine. Wowzers! It's a kind of car you're not measuring fuel consumption in kilometers per litre, but in litres per kilometre. And yeah, we'll crack on, turn out these laps. The AI is obviously having some sort of issues coming around here. Oh, we're off wide, we're off wide! Jesus wept. Yeah, so you've got a load of cars there and some telegraph poles that you could hit if you get it too wrong, and quite frankly I don't feel like hitting either. Yeah. So we'll just crack on here, try and keep a bit more to the right. This time drop it into fourth for the first one. Again, we'll drop it into third for the second one. That's stupid. What are you doing that for? You don't need to be doing that. So yeah, now we covered pretty much the distance of the Le Mans circuit. Oh, he's off, he's off, he's off, he's off! He's off. I'm off, I'm off. Yeah, so we've now covered the distance of Le Mans. Ah, see, that's what I mean. That's what I mean when I say get on the throttle just too soon, too hard, and it's just gonna go whoops on you. But yeah, we're just looking. Oh, somebody's already in. That's a stop, so that's a position gained. Remember to gear down, mate. Come on. I mean, I've done this before. Yeah, really, at this point, you're also going to be watching your gauges. You're going to be watching your water temperatures, especially as I think we made a bit of front-end contact in that spin. So we might have damaged the front radiator. So we want to be watching the water temperature. Oil pressure is crucial for the engine. Like, if that goes away, if that starts dropping at some point, it's pretty crucial. That is a sign that the engine's about to expire. So yeah, then you've got your oil temperature. I mean, I don't actually know what they mean, because presumably it was built in Britain in the 60s and they were still on the imperial system, so it's in Fahrenheit. So I'm just going to assume that what I'm seeing is good and just leave it at that, because I don't understand that. We've got the fuel gauge there in the middle, which is also crucial. I mean, we have got the on-screen gauge on as well, of course, but focusing on that one is a bit more correct, because that is what we can see. We're just missing, if we use the minimum HUD, it is just a bit low on information. Like, things you need is not there. Like flags isn't shown, and that's just a bit of a pain, really. Yeah, we're just going to try and keep it straight now. Grab some drink as well. That's crucial. Just enjoy the full GT that's parked off track there. Just lift off here a bit early. Brake leaving 5th for the Master King. That's looking good, that. Looking very good. We're not seeing any smoke or anything. There, we're just going to plot on and see what we can get out of this race. And just brake a bit early here. Oh, that's a bit much, actually. Down into 4th, around here. Fairly bumpy, as you can see. So you got to get it right, speed-wise and steering-wise. Otherwise, it's not a good time. Yeah, I think we were with the guy in front, but we spun out coming out of Les Saws, so you just have to try and gain it again. It shouldn't be too hard. Yeah, he's still sitting there, which is an interesting situation, because you're never really sure if he's going to decide to move off. Oh, that's airy. That is airy. We don't need to be doing that anymore, really. So yeah, fuel consumption doesn't quite seem to line up with what we saw. Like, we've had 3 laps of fuel remaining for a lap or two now, so I'm going to go ahead and say that's not correct. Oh, he's had another moment. He's had another moment, but look at that. He's just dilly-dallying about in the middle of the road. He's got an actual spare tyre as well. You don't see that in modern racing, do you? Like, yes, in rallying you do, but not in racing. He's having a massive moment through there. His car's all over the place. I wouldn't be surprised if he's going to box this time round with that rear damage. Look at that. The poor Ferrari has taken a battering. That time we were a bit more careful through Latours, and it paid off. No, not pitting. Not pitting. We've got another pit caller though. That's third. Up to third. Again, we're technically far too close. Oh, they don't like Rouge Radillon. Not a fan of that. They are very slow, which is a shame. But yes, hard to believe Formula 1 raced here, isn't it? Granted, they didn't quite have the speed they do now, but they raced here like up into the 60s. Which is quite insane, really, with the speeds they were getting then. Like, I'm pretty sure they did it in 67 when they had the 3-litre engines. Which is a whole lot of note from my point. They're just coffins. Coffins, those cars. Fuel down either side of the driver. Just absolute dreadful. I mean, I think the biggest safety advancement I made back then, other than putting in belts, eventually, was moving the pedal box behind the front axle. Because, you know, we put that at the front, so your feet could get squashed between whatever you hit and your front axle, which sounds not nice for your feet, really. But let's see here, we've got a good run through that one back there. We should be able to convert this down this straight away. Let's see, you're going to have to make a change in your direction right now. You didn't, I'm up your right hand side, mate. Shake your fist because you moved over. What an absolute lunatic he is. Brake. I don't think we've braked enough. Brake a bit more. There we go. We have a very... Oh, he's off. Oh, no. That's a death. That's a death. Dear, oh dear. That yellow Ferrari driver. Rest in peace. Because, Jesus Christ. Yeah, it's a tricky circuit. Yeah, I was kind of demonstrating what it's like to do that on, like, you know, going extreme flat out. Like, they did it in the rain as well. Like, Jesus Christ. It was a different sport back then. Different sport. Like there, you're using somebody's driveway, like aiming for that in order to get the corner as fast as you can, which doesn't quite seem right. I'm superbly slow through that one right there, but I just don't have the confidence, and I know going too fast or getting the angle wrong will put me off on the exit, and there's no give there. Oh, as I'm running off track down a straightaway like an idiot. So now I'm into second place, and yeah, we might want to check in during our first pit stop, just save an exit and just see exactly what the AI is doing, how many of those are left, just in case we're not dropping too much time, because you can save in this. A nice feature that quite frankly should come back in more racing games, because it means you have just a bit more leeway with these sessions. Like even between sessions you can save, and you can save at any time during the race if you so desire. A very nice feature for those of us, you know, who have to squeeze it in around everything else. Although, speaking as a single male who lives on his own, you know, probably can't complain too much about being interrupted, because, you know, oh, nearly drama there. Woo. But yeah, as you can see, very different to Sebring, of course, here. There's a bit more risk involved. Sebring back then had comparatively a lot of runoff area. Ah, we're coming in a bit hot. Our car's fighting. She's got her own opinion about how she wants to take the corners, and I wasn't listening to her there. And she decided to tell me, "You've got this wrong." I'm starting to think that on lap 7 we would have hit back markers if there were any left, really, because that's the only inkling I really had that something wasn't quite right in the first race I did here, was that I wasn't really encountering any lap traffic. I was kind of going, where's everybody gone? So I would quite like, especially with these wide open sight lines we do have, like to see them at some point make an appearance, because that would give me some kind of comfort. But yet looks like we are getting about twice as much out of a tank as we should, so that does open up quite a lot. That means we are not going to be stopping as much as we expected. Leave it in 5th, mate. Leave it in 5th. Because yeah, I think, admittedly, it's a long lap, like 15-16 kilometers. So there is that to think about, but other than that, we should have been hitting lap traffic. But we will investigate during our stop. Oh, we nearly investigated it there, because I nearly threw it off hard. Because yeah, there's no paved runoff here. There is, in many places, either a post or a wall. And they're not going to slow you down gently. This one is fairly hairy too, because you're flat out and you can quite clearly hear the car scraping along the along as we make the corner. And this one I think is like a 4th gear, but I just never really go through this one at maximum capacity. Oh, see, we've got a car up ahead. That might be the leader though. That might be the leader, because that will probably be about 8 seconds to the good right now. So that might be the leader. It's a red Ferrari. We will see. I reckon we might even have more than that. If we could get it up to 12 laps, that would be ideal, because then we'd be on 24 and then we'd only have to do an 11 lap. Actually, can we do a 12 and then 12 plus 22? No, that's not enough. Oh, I overdid it into La Source there. Oh, back end. She's a lively one. And into 3rd. Right around there. I mean, even just that entry right there. Mother of God, you just got that big post at the end of the wall just to greet you. Just to say hi to your face if you clip it a bit much. That's one way to enforce track limits, of course. Put a concrete wall in the place. That'll stop people from cutting the corner. And yes, it will. It will also kill a lot of people, but it will also achieve its aim. Oh, again, a bit hot into there. Yeah, the more we go and the more I'm not seeing any kind of lap traffic, the more I do get concerned that there is, in fact, very few cars involved here. The first race I did have to cook dinner after my first stint, which was about 10 laps I think, but that wasn't in this car, so I thought we wouldn't quite get to that. But yeah, that was indeed there was 10 runners left at that point, which wasn't a lot. So we'll have to check here the next stop that we make. If we can get it up to 10, that might not be possible. But anyway, anything we do is going to cut down on our final stop, which is good. So Just run our marks. I mean, we are absolutely pulling away. I think the last time round we were 20 seconds to the good of P2 or P3. Now we are pretty much a minute up on that. So clearly he's either pitted or he's had some dramas. Yeah, it's important to remember that we're now running with a low fuel load. The car's lighter, so it is in theory a bit faster, so you have to manage that with your pace as well, because, you know, faster is faster no matter what. You're still straining the car a bit more than you perhaps need to be. Oh yeah. Yeah, with 35 laps, we're definitely not going to spend 35 litres, of fuel. And we have caught up with the leader, that is him. Well, Ferrari, he's got his lights on. I'll put my lights on as well, just, you know, to be sensible and realistic in all of that. Because it is getting dark, of course. And now we're starting to pick up spread, but yeah, look at that. The AI's just not having any luck around this place at all. They are absolutely all over the road. And we'll see here coming around from La Source. Oh, we're a bit late on the brakes there. Ah! I was trying to free up the brake, but we just locked the wheels a bit there as soon as I put in some steering, and now we've nearly spun it. Christ alive, how rubbish am I? And he's now boxing. We're going to risk it. Oh, we got a slower car confirmed. There are more than 2 cars in this race. That is good. There might actually be 4 cars. Wow, look at that. I can't see quite what that is. It might be one of the smaller Ferraris, might be a Lotus or a Lola. Don't think she was a showgirl, but you never know. Are we coming in hot there? Just fighting again. We're going to have to just check that we're down to 30 litres of fuel. So coming around towards La Source, we'll see what that's dropped to. That should give us a rough estimate of how far we can go on a tank. I mean, just looking again at the actual gauge in the car, obviously, you know, that's just about a quarter tank, so logic would dictate that it's not quite a lap, but there's a bit more in it than that. Uh-oh. That's not what I want it to be doing. Just let her run through. Just leave her in 5th. The car feels okay after the little whoopsie back there with the Ferrari. Pressures and temperatures are looking fine, so I don't think we've done too much to the car there. Just brake here through Master. M-A-S-T-A, not M-A-Z. It's not named after the Master car. I think the village is just called Master. It's the only explanation really to these. Oh yeah. It's a baby Porsche, I think. Is it? Or a Ferrari? It's a white car. It might be a knot. No, it wasn't a knot. I think that looked different in this race. I think they went a bigger Ferrari. That's a German plate, so I reckon that's a Porsche. Mate! Mate! I just drive past and point at our rear view mirror. Yeah, that is a Porsche, so yeah, just point at our rear view mirror. Brake. Just to show to that driver back there that he needs to be paying attention to what's behind him. Oh yeah, we definitely got another lap in this. Definitely got another lap. We got 24 litres in the tank. 24 litres. We probably don't have a lot more, like maybe one more lap at most. Are you going to turn in? We have a massive lead. Let's not gamble, actually. So again, you kind of have to, as a faster car, be a bit more circumspect compared to old or some more modern cars. When you're dealing with traffic, you have to know where your car is strong more than you do now, and you need to know where their car is strong, because there's absolutely no point in overtaking someone if you're coming into a section that you know you're going to lose out on. Back then, of course, you know, these cars were fast in a straight line, but they were surprisingly heavy, so they didn't quite perhaps have the agility that the smaller engine cars did. So yeah, it's 22 across the line. We'll just make a guess again next time round, but that's a good sign. That means our final stop will be very short. So they might be locked in a battle between each other there. Oh, yeah. Yeah, yawning. It's must already be some back into work mode. Where's this? Oh, oh, yeah. I mean, we're doing the Macarena here behind the wheel, going through there. I just keep coming in a bit hot. Although I'm not struggling here as much as I am at Daytona. My God, I just can't get my head around that place. I might have to slightly take back some of my statements about that place and that it's uninspired and uninteresting. It's really tricky in these old cars. It's certainly the version of Daytona that comes with the 1967 World Sports Car Championship mod. Quite a tricky track because all of the infield section is completely flat. Like, there are nothing in there at all, no camber at all. So it's so easy to throw the car off in a stupid manoeuvre. And especially speedways turn 3 and 4, you've got to be superbly careful through there as well, that you don't end up coming in too hot because it's quite bumpy. So it wants to sort of upset the car and get that wrong, and you will end up spinning sideways. And then there is a braking for turn 1 where I think there is either a dip or a camber change as you leave the tri-oval, and it just catches me out all the time. It's so difficult. I cannot get a competitive time in there, which is really annoying me. But I reckon we're going to have to bring it in this time. I don't think we have enough fuel to make it through another lap, because we started with 21, we're down to 15. That would indicate to me that we're going to be, we're not going to have more than, or we're going to have less than 11 litres of fuel left in a lap. So this is actually also a good way for me to see exactly what we are using on a lap such as this, and see maybe what we can gain in terms of fuel saving. Because 21, and then we just subtract whatever we have there. And oh dear, Porsche problems. He disappeared, thank you. Because then we know roughly what to aim for a lap. That can be crucial later on. But yeah, right now we're not really going to take any chances. We are running our marks as much as we can. We're just looking after the car. He says as he slides it through there. Yeah. Oh well, we'll crack on here and see what we can do. Yeah, fuel warning definitely popping on now. Yeah, we're going to dip below that. Although I reckon we could probably just about do it if we wanted to, because it is downhill from here. So I reckon with a bit of fuel saving we can actually extend quite significantly. I don't know what the speed limit actually is, but it is right there, so yeah. And out comes the crew. Is that my crew? I'm going to assume it's my crew right here, the white boys. Guys, you could have chosen a better outfit. I'm not keen on that. So yeah, bang it on. We have a bit of aero. Yeah, I mean, we're in the lead. And yeah, that's what we're going to do. So, engine off real quick, and they'll sort that out. We will drop a save right here, and we will also, now that's saved, quit. Yeah, see, this is a problem, isn't it? We're now down to that. There's definitely issues going on right here, so quite frankly, there is no point continuing, is there? Because we're just not going to have anybody left in the end. We get a couple of DNFs, we've got somebody with an engine. That would have been the Porsche we saw, I reckon. If you put on model information, yeah, Porsche 906 expiring. Then you've got 2 DNFs and you've got a lot of engine accident. I'm guessing all of these engines are actually crashes, but they damaged the engine. That's rather annoying. Oh, well, can't really do much about that. So we're going to chalk this one up as a win and just leave it here, because quite frankly, what is the point of continuing in the state that we are in here? Because, yeah, we're going to win fairly confidently, I can say that. And everybody else is going to retire. So anyway, this has been... Actually, no, it's not, because I will have some time. So I'll put in some of the previous attempts, and you can see some of the drama we've had. But after that, it is indeed goodbye. So we just came around out here. We've got some drama up ahead. It looks like one of the... Can't tell which one that is. Oh, we're coming... Oh, God, fire! Fire! That's fire! That's a lot of fire. That is really a lot of fire in that Mark II. Oh my goodness me. That person is a crisp now. My lap times here are about 3-4 seconds, I think of. No. Oh, that's bad. Ah, that's bad. So intelligence probably isn't high as on. Whoa, Jackie! What are you doing, mate? Come on, mate. You're better than that. You won them all 6 times, mate. You should brake. But you know, not very straight right now. As Jackie X is absolutely Max Verstappening it around the outside of me right there. Wowzers! So we're just gonna try and sit here and watch what he is going to do. Oh no, mate. Oh, mate. Yeah, mate. He's gone off. Like that, he's going to kill himself. We got fire behind us. Oh God, look at that! Death unfolding. Oh no, mate! Don't take out the Lola. Oh, he's coming back on. Wow, hello. Whatever you say. Oh, now the chaperone's right up his chuff. But oh wow, he's losing it. I'm losing it. I'm back on. Okay, let's gather this up. Gather this up now. To come through that one is particularly tricky. We can get through the lap a bit better when it comes down a bit. But here we're going to have to see what's going on right here. I don't even know. Oh, we've gone hard. Oh, he's off. The orange one's off. He's back on. He's wow. 4GT. Holy mother of God. Oh my God, he's... Oh my... He's a cannonball now. With that fast right-hander with all the advert boards is Stabilo, which is also part of the modern circuit, but it has no... Oh my word, we've been taken out. Fucking Christ, mate. Fucking hell. I mean, he just twatted me, didn't he? He just absolutely... Oh, now we banged it on the limiter, so that's the engine buggered as well, isn't it?